Hello again everyone, Age of June here, and we are back casting another League of Legends game. Look at the names here, we have a lot of big time people. Alright, we're just going to get in there very quickly, and then we can go ahead and list them out. We can start now. We've got From Maple Street, and of course, as I start, then it says to go ahead. But we're at the very beginning, using the casa.in thing, so we're not going to miss a thing, and it is awesome. Okay. So, we've got From Maple Street, who is the AD carry for, I believe it's Velocity. I think that's his team. But he just qualified in the recent thing for the LCS, so congrats to him. He is now in. He is also the brother of TheOddOne. So we're actually going to have a little bit of sibling rivalry here, which is kind of awesome. So we've got From Maple Street, he's going to be bot AD carry with Blitzcrank. He went AD carry TF earlier, and it was not pretty for him. So maybe his AD carry Kennen will go a little better. We're going to put him down here. He will be against WildTurtl, of course, who is the AD carry for Team TSM. As I'm sure a lot of you know, this is one of his many ults. I believe he's got 3 in Challenger at the moment, and this is the, I think it's the newest, but I'm not sure. WildTurtl without the E. So those two are going to be against each other. Up top, I believe we have, let's see, Rengar? Yes, it looks like Rengar is going to be top, played by Kha'Zix. I'm pretty sure I recognize that name too, but I'm not completely sure. I believe, let's see, taking a look at this, I would say Kha'Zix is going to be up top against him, who is played by meromeron. Meromeron? I don't know. Sounds good. Meromeron. Alright, mid lane we've got Orianna, played by Aozakii. Aozakii. That works. Yes, she's going to be against Xerath, of course, played by batjewman. I do know that name. I've seen him multiple times before. I don't know that he's in a team, but I do know he's up in the Diamond or Challenger area, and he's fairly often on the TheOddOne's stream. So, finally we've got the supports. MRN AtomicN, obviously one of the many people in the MRN team. Oh, wow, this is going to be an early first blood, possibly. This Rengar's getting really low. He almost died there. He will not end up going down. I believe... Ah, yes, there it is. Okay, I want to go a little bit farther back. So they were hiding in the bush, and the Nami actually landed the pull on, or the bubble on him just as he came into the bush, and he got really close to dying. He did actually survive, surprisingly enough, though. Nunu came to help if need be, but he was not necessary. But, as I was saying, the Blitzcrank is MRN AtomicN. MRN Atomic, yep. Versus Nami, well, sort of. I mean, they're not technically versus each other as they are in different lanes, but you know what I mean. Nami played by A and B. Yes, A and B. Nunu is going to be jungling for the blue team, who is KonKwon. Versus, of course, TheOddOne, playing Zac. I have recently picked up Zac, and I've got to say I'm kind of loving him. I played him in a single normal game in Summoner's Rift, but I played the heck out of him in Twisted Tree Line, and he's actually really entertaining in there. He can actually jump over the little divider thing between the Nexus and the jungle, so no need to go around or anything like that. You just jump in and just start ripping things apart. So, yet again, Rengar is back down to half health. And it looks like TheOddOne is about to come in here for a gank on the bot lane here. He's going to go gank his own little brother. This is about to be a surprise. Alright, I have a feeling it's going to happen soon. He's sitting in here, and they are pushed quite heavily up. He might be waiting for this minion line. Oh, there we go. He does come in. Kha'Zix jumps in as well. They are going in on the From Maple Street, the Oddbro, as he is often called. First blood now goes to Rengar. We'll take a look at that in a moment. I first want to see if this guy escapes. He does flash away, and the Blitzcrank was hit by the slow. Oh, in comes the Nunu. Kha'Zix is trying to take down the Kennen, but Kennen does not go down. Now the TheOddOne is trying to run away. I believe he's going to escape with no problem, but that did end up changing for a 2 versus 2 to a 2 versus 3. So that ended up changing out really fast. Oh, it looks like he went too far. Okay, so Rengar is at about half health, and it looks like WildTurtl decided to go ahead and attack him under the tower. Oh, I don't think he decided to attack him. I think he was not paying attention to the minions there, and the minions actually died. And then all of a sudden, it was WildTurtl tanking the tower. Until he died. And then there was no more taking the tower for him. So it's currently Nami versus Rengar. Not a good matchup for Nami. Especially since she's level 2. He's level 4 and she is level 2. She must be giving her XP to WildTurtl. Now he's only level 3. I mean, it is a solo lane, so obviously Rengar is going to have a lot more experience from that. But even with that, I would have expected them to not be quite this far behind because they did make him go back. So mid lane, it looks like they're just being fairly calm. No ganks have occurred here. It's mostly just, you know, farming, having a good time. Batjewman versus Aozakii. Alright, so in the meantime, TheOddOne is just going to go ahead and defend this tower, trying to make sure it doesn't get taken down. Blitzcrank tried to get a pull on him, but he missed. He missed. And the TheOddOne is safe. Rengar is going back, so the top lane actually has the opportunity to go ahead and push this to tower if they want to get rid of the XP for him, but it doesn't look like they're doing it. It looks like they're actually just going to let it stay. They are not pushing this lane whatsoever. I think they actually might be intending to just deprive him by just zoning him completely. They'll probably take up a position in front of the minions to some extent so that he doesn't get to farm. But we'll have to see. Nunu has gone ahead and counter-jungled the TheOddOne. How very rude of you, sir. You do not counter the general. And he just ate a big Wraith and went back in. So Nami is hanging out in this bush. She's ready to go ahead and land her bubble on the Rengar if she needs to. He's just sitting in the bush. He's not able to farm whatsoever. He's at 13 farm versus 34. So yeah, he's definitely shut down by these two, but he's just going for the experience and just doing whatever he can so that he doesn't die. And that's, in large part, all you can really do. A lot of times, in a lot of the games, if you notice, like the LCS and stuff, if you see these reverse lanes, you see the lane that it is against a solo lane just push, 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 push. And their entire purpose is to go ahead and get that tower down so that they can get the experience, and then they go roaming. And they get other towers. Oh no! In comes the Nunu. He does land this slow on WildTurtl. WildTurtl is trying to get out of this. The bubble does go on Rengar. Rengar is going to be okay. In comes the TheOddOne though. The Rengar is dead, and the Nunu is not dead. Nunu almost died there, but he is not going to die. So that ended up being a 1-for-1, I believe, 2 assists for both team, as well as the 2 kills. And now the Nunu has to run, otherwise he will be hit by that TheOddOne. So the TheOddOne's going to go ahead with Nami and take down this tower. I don't think there's really anything they can do about it. This tower is going to go down. It is way too low already. He's just going to go ahead and farm this up. I'll take a look down there in just a minute. And yeah, it's gone. Almost definitely gone. So let's go ahead and take a look down here. I do see a grab there, but we'll see the whole thing. So we know that Kha'Zix has good wave clear because of this Void Spike once he hits 6. Until he hits 6, though, he can really only Void Spike 1 minion at a time. So he does get pulled there, and they just go in on him. The stun from both of them, and he just goes down to the Kennen from MapleStreet, the Oddbro. So this tower is probably going to go down as well at the same time as the top one. So we're just going to see a tower trade would be my guess. This tower is down. Boom. Is this tower down though? As of yet, it's not down. It looks like they're going to go ahead and proxy. But by proxying, they are letting their minions go ahead and take down this tower. And they are just going to zone WildTurtl. So WildTurtl's coming in. He's probably attempting to do a little bit of damage to them. But honestly, he's not able to do too much. But the fact that he is down here means that they have done their lane swap back. Which means that this tower is now protected. Nami's on the way down. Right now is about the only chance that these guys are going to get this tower undefended, because otherwise it's going to be 2 versus 2, and indeed they do go ahead and take down that tower. Oh, Blitzcrank. Alright, so obviously the TheOddOne's going to go ahead and give the blue to Orianna. TheOddOne is Zac, and Zac is not mana dependent at all. That is one of the awesome things about Zac. I don't think I've ever played a non-mana dependent jungler. I mean, oh, in goes the jump, and oh no, Kennen actually went that way. So he's going to escape out of this for now, but Zach's jump comes up fairly soon. OddOne being the odd one, I do know that he levels his E first. So he actually levels that jump as soon as possible. Nami just got pulled there by the Blitzcrank, and she did end up going down. OddOne's trying to go ahead and take down that guy. He, I believe, has his passive up, so he won't die. Yeah, he will not die, even if he does end up getting killed. But they do not end up taking out anybody for the blue team as of yet. And Rengar just killed the Kha'Zix. Ouch. Looks like the OddOne's getting ready to go in on the Kennen again. He does land his slow, but Kennen goes ahead and just lightning rats away, and he escapes, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Rengar versus Kha'Zix thing up there. A little bit farther back. Okay, that should be good. You gotta see Blitzcrank kill the Nami again. Support on support fight. Blitzcrank wins. Not really surprising. Nami's not the... I don't know, she's not the greatest damage dealer. She's a really good harasser. I got her in an ARAM the other night. It was pretty awesome. It wasn't just the fact that I was Nami. It was the fact that we had 3 supports on our team. So all of us were harasser supports as well. We had Janna, me as Nami, and I don't remember who the other support was, but we had a lot of heals and a lot of harass. Wow, he is very low here, and that's probably what kills him. Nunu's coming in for the gank. But yeah, it ended up being really one-sided there. Oh, he just flash jumps in. And Nunu gets nothing out of that. Wow, Nunu didn't even get a help. Rengar said, no, I'm not waiting for you. And there's that we already saw. The annoying thing about that game that I was talking about where I was Nami is that I actually had a power surge in the middle of it and got DC'd. So then I had to wait for my computer to restart, my router to restart, because my UPS is terrible at the moment. I need to fix that, and I do intend to eventually, fairly soon probably. But instead of, you know, being a battery backup and doing things, it just goes ahead and fries somewhat. I don't know if there's a... I think it might not be powerful enough to support my computer. Because if the computer's on, it fries like I was talking about. But if the computer's not on, it actually works fine. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And it's actually really annoying. It just goes beep until I go ahead and shut the UPS off and then turn it back on. And the router, of course, takes forever. I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, I guess it's just regular router. AT&T router, and it just takes a long time to start back up. And then I had to wait. But I did end up getting back in. My team was actually losing team fights at the time I got back in. And then we just pushed to win. I didn't even get to buy anything. I ended up going 4-0, I believe, 19. So, it was a really entertaining game. Don't know that I'll be playing Nami bot lane. We'll have to see. I mean, I did try her once. But honestly, my playstyle is more tanky. And I don't really do very well as something like this. Ooh, WildTurtl is going to go down. He did get pulled there by the Blitzcrank. He's going to try to go ahead and do as much damage as he can. No, he's going to farm with his passive there. He does get the super minion, or the big minion, it looks like. And unfortunately, Nami went down as well to batjewman. So now the Nunu and the Xerath, which I have this skin. I like this skin. It's very nice. They're going to go ahead and go in on the dragon. Kha'Zix is back up top against Rengar. He's got to be very cautious. Rengar's early game is very dangerous. Kha'Zix early game, not so dangerous. I found that out in a game in which one of my fellow players was up top. Oh, in he goes. Does he end up landing on the Nunu there? He's bouncing to him. Does he get him? Yes, he does. And, oh, the Nunu flashes out. So the Nunu is going to go ahead and escape this. The Orianna just got pulled there, though. She does end up taking down the Blitzcrank before she dies, but she still died. And that just gave 2 more assists to the blue team. This is not looking good for the purple team. But either way, one of the Oddbros is going to win. Ha ha ha. Kind of like that. That's actually the entire reason why I cast this game. Was because of the fact that it had both Oddbros in it. It has batjewman, who I knew, and it's got a Marn person in it as well. Who, actually, come to think of it, Marn is not technically a team anymore. But that's okay. Back when it was a team, he was in it. Anymore, it's not a team. It actually did not make it into the LCS, and Marn went ahead and just gave it up there. They said they were not able to support themselves without being in the LCS. They had actually declared it beforehand. Said if we don't get in the LCS, we're going to have to back out because we really just cannot support ourselves without being in the LCS. So when they didn't get in, I believe they actually lost to WildTurtl Velocity. So a little bit of a vengeance there probably. Not WildTurtl, from MapleStreet. Ooh, they're actually on the same team and same lane. But yeah, they actually lost to that Velocity's team, or Velocity, and very sad day for them. They went ahead and just threw in the towel, I believe, the next day. And that was the end of MRN. I think the founder of MRN is working on another team. I'm not sure. I was just reading online that he had put a tweet out there saying, hey, I'm working to work on my mid so I could be the best mid ever, and I've got a certain number of months, which happens to coincide to the amount of time before the next LCS event. So, very likely he is indeed working on a new team. We'll have to see, though. OddOne does go ahead and get out of that with no problem. Very nice thing about the Zac there. If you don't get stunned, you're going to escape. Stunned, popped up, anything like that. I got out of so many things in our little threes game because they're coming in, they're just wailing on you, and you don't care because you're in the middle of charging up your jump, then you jump over a wall, and that's the end of it. Oh, down went the WildTurtle. Okay. What happened to WildTurtle? So he's just down here farming. The Blitz and the Kennen are coming up behind him, and I have a feeling that's exactly what happened. He got flanked big time. He's trying to farm the best he can. In comes the Kennen. Does go ahead and I believe here goes the stun. Stun, and he's dead. Blitzcrank does end up getting the assist for it, though. He did end up popping him up. I'm not sure if Kennen actually ended up getting the stun at all. But now Nunu's in here. He's waiting. I believe she's going to throw over her thing. She does. Unfortunately, it was slightly too soon, so Orianna was not able to use her ability to get that blue buff. And it means that Nunu does end up getting it. They were definitely hoping that Orianna would be able to use her abilities to grab that while the Nunu was bubble-fied, but unfortunately for them, it did not end up happening. And now OddOne just went ahead and used his smite on the wolves. Alright, sorry about that. Down bottom, WildTurtle is back in the lane. He's just pushing and farming as much as possible. Rengar just got this tower up here. Kha'Zix is finally coming into it, I believe. He's level 9. I think you get your second point at 12. So no, he has not been able to upgrade his wings yet. Does have his void spikes upgraded, but not the wings. After the second upgrade is when Kha'Zix really starts kicking in and turning into an assassin. So right about there is where we'll probably see him start to at least be able to duel with Rengar to some extent. I mean, Rengar is nasty, but so is Kha'Zix once he gets to that area. OddOne's coming in for a gank. The Orianna's coming up as well, and there's the Kha'Zix. There is the OddOne. He does go ahead and land the slow there. He's going to bounce, bounce, bounce. There's the Orianna ulti, and the Rengar is just going to die here. He does end up going down to that Kha'Zix, and now Kha'Zix is going to be able to farm without having to worry about being killed by the Rengar. But batjewman was down here attacking the tower. In the meantime, he is pushed back, though, and in comes the Blitzcrank. He's going to try to land a pull here. Nope. Nope, he decided not to. He's just going to walk out quite fast. Nunu's going in on the dragon down here. He can easily solo this, and he probably is going to. Purple team is not coming at all. They don't have a ward here because of this pink ward. We saw them destroy the enemy pink ward a little while ago. So they're going to go ahead and get this dragon for free. They've got it well warded up, so even if the purple team does end up coming down to contest, they're going to know. There we go. The kill actually goes to Blitzcrank. Nunu does have his smite. He actually used his smite, probably his consume, and his kill still went to Blitzcrank. Ah, WildTurtle died again. Alright, so there we go. What happened to him? He was here. Nope, that's not. Okay, so he came out. He's coming in to farm, and the from Maple Street's just there. He goes ahead, just lands a stun, and WildTurtle just melts, and Kennen comes in for one last shot, and bam! Down goes the Kog'Maw. Names. By the way, do keep in mind that while yes, it is not looking promising at all for this purple team, Kog'Maw is 100% a late game champion. He is not really often able to do much at all until the late game pops up. But once the late game does end up coming, he becomes a whole lot more dangerous. There's a very nice gank there, by the way. Nunu actually got really low, and it would have been very nice if Orianna would have been able to kill him, but she was not, unfortunately. Not really surprising. These guys are still just pressuring down here. So, honestly, it looks like the purple team has more of a late game comp, whereas the blue team has pretty heavy early game. Rengar's early game, he falls off a bit late game. Kennen, I'm really not sure about Kennen, to be honest. You don't see him very much, and I'm not sure when he falls off, if he falls off. There is the slow on the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is going to go down to that Kog'Maw ulti. Now, oh, the Nami does end up missing her stun there. So now Kennen is trying his best to get out. OddOne's coming in with a jump. He doesn't end up being able to land on the Kennen, so the Kennen does end up taking down that. Oh, the Kennen took down the Kog'Maw, and then Kennen actually took down the OddOne as well. So brother on brother action, and MapleStreet ended up winning. Orianna died. Where did Orianna die? There she is. Okay, so she's at full health at the moment. I have no idea how she died. I have a feeling it has something to do with that suspicious stain on the ground up here. Ah, Rengar went into her, and yeah, there we go. The Xerath actually just went ahead and used his ulti to grab that kill, and there's the stain on the ground we saw, and had nothing to do with Orianna. She died here. So there is the ping from the blue team. They're going to go ahead and try to go in on this tower here. They are actually 9k ahead in gold, so they are very likely very happy with themselves. And it is not looking good for the purple team. Kha'Zix is going to have to go ahead and leave this tower behind. I don't think he's going to be able to defend it alone. He's sticking around though. If he can land his Void Spike and kill off a lot of those minions, he unfortunately did not. But in comes the OddOne. He's going to go ahead and jump in. And, ooh, the Kha'Zix actually got stunned there. So, I don't think the OddOne has his ulti, no. So he's actually going to have to run out of this. Otherwise, he will end up dying as well. And there's really no help for him at all. If this Rengar gets caught, and... oh, the OddOne does end up going in on him, but does not end up landing on him. And he did not interrupt him at all. In comes the Orianna now. She does go ahead and land her ball in there, and she is going to kill that Rengar. Yes, he goes down. batjewman goes ahead and takes down the OddOne, and now Orianna's in a little bit of trouble. She's trying to escape from this Nunu. She just go ahead and put her slow down, saying, no, Nunu, please, no. She does escape. Lulu's going back to the middle. Gonna go ahead and push the minion wave back here. Does not want to let them get all the way into the tower. And in comes the WildTurtl with the farming. More minions for WildTurtl. He's currently about 32 behind? Yep, 32 minions behind. He's slowly catching up. But from MapleStreet's about to be able to farm down here as well. So that lead is going to... or that deficit is going to go back up again. Or at very least stay about the same. So he is pushing bot, while Kog'Maw goes ahead, and it looks like he's going to come in here on the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix tried to take down the batjewman. Batjewman does not go down. In comes the Kha'Zix, but not Kha'Zix. That would be Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's a little too slow, though. Now batjewman's going to go ahead and be right here. And I don't think that the purple team's going to know. He's going to escape this completely out in the open. Oh, man, that's kind of embarrassing. He does end up going back and escaping completely scot-free. Alright, so in the meantime, down here we've got Blitzcrank and Nunu just going around menacing that poor Lulu. The Kennen does end up taking down this turret, and he's going to continue pushing now. There is a ward here, so they know they can pull Nami if she gets too close. But she's going to go ahead, come over here to defend this tower. Blitzcrank tried to pull her, successfully pulled a minion. Not quite what he was looking for. Rengar's going to go ahead and push here. In comes the OddOne. Bounce, bounce. And he does go ahead, just do a little bit of damage and push those minions. Kill those minions. Kill them all. And now the bot lane is pushed again for the blue team. Lots of pings all over here. Looks like there's a team fight possibly brewing. Kha'Zix got pulled there. He's going to just melt. He does end up going down from MapleStreet, got the kill. Now in comes the OddOne. He does bounce, bounce, bounce. Down goes the Rengar to the Kog'Maw. The Kennen ulti comes in. He's just ripping through people. He's trying to get out now. The Blitzcrank actually landed a pull on the OddOne. So looks like the Kennen is going to escape this. Now the Blitzcrank's in he should be fine. But the Nunu, on the other hand, is in a world of trouble here. He's being chased by Nami. The Xerath is coming in from behind. The Ori does get popped up and pulled and then popped up by the Blitzcrank. So the Ori is still trying to get out. I'll take a look up there at Nunu in a minute. The OddOne is still chasing him down. Ori's trying to get out of this. She does go ahead and land the slow on the Blitzcrank. He uses his speed to counter it, but he doesn't counter it completely, and he ends up going slower. So she's still trying to get around. If he lands the pull on her, she's probably dead. But she's doing everything she can to get out of this. Rengar's coming up beside, though, so if she does get caught... Oh, he does go ahead, flash, and kill her. So down she goes. Nunu is amazingly not dead. How can this be? So I want to go ahead and follow this. Okay, so there's Nunu. He does go ahead and land the slow on the OddOne. The OddOne's coming at him. He does land the slow on Nunu. Nunu goes in and consumes to go ahead and grab that. OddOne misses with his jump, so he does not end up landing it and disrupting that. He does not, I believe, land the slow on the Nunu there. So the Nunu got really close to dead. Nami's coming around to go ahead and go in, and the OddOne's jump, again, does not quite make it. Nunu goes ahead and just consumes those monsters. And he's still just running away. The Nami has given up hope of chasing. There is the OddOne's jump. He still does not quite do it. He might end up landing the slow there, but he does not. Oh, he might now. Oh, there is the slow from the Nunu. His ulti. And the Nunu does go down, but the Rengar comes in. And does the OddOne escape? He does not escape. It was a good attempt, and honestly, it was very close. Had he jumped over that wall, the Rengar might have had a little bit more trouble getting to him, and he might actually have ended up escaping, but he did not end up being able to do it. Now the Kha'Zix is going to go ahead and go in on this red, but the Rengar's coming in, and we'll have to see what happens here. Kha'Zix versus Rengar. I think Rengar will win because the Kha'Zix is far lower. And yeah, the Rengar does indeed end up taking down the Kha'Zix. Killing spree for the Rengar. Terrible news for the blue team. I'm seeing a lot more Rengar now than I used to. For a long time, he was just fan of the month, and he was just the best thing ever, and everybody played him. And then he got nerfed. I believe his E got nerfed so that it did less damage, and then everybody decided he sucks, and then nobody played him, and now he's back. I don't recall there being any buffs for him, but there might have been. A little bit farther back. I want to see what happened. Okay, Orianna's here, the Kog'Maw is here, the Blitzcrank is there as well. Oh, we already saw this. Oh, darn it! Wow, I didn't realize we went back that far back earlier. So yeah, that's where she dies. Don't remember. Actually, I didn't notice that Mr. Kog'Maw here was able to take down the Xerath. The Xerath ulti just did as much damage as he could to the Kog'Maw, and now the Kog'Maw is alone with the Xerath. He's but Xerath is actually faster than him, so he won't be escaping, I think. Okay, so the Xerath does end up taking down the Kog. I thought that I saw the Kog killed the Xerath, but apparently not. And that is where the Nunu died, and the OddOne died as well. I thought right after that is where we saw the death of the Xerath, but apparently not. Actually, I thought it was right after this. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so down goes the Kha'Zix. Keeping an eye on the minimap. I'm not seeing any engagements happening, so I guess I just went far enough back. I don't know why I did. I don't remember now. Anyway. So Nami's going to go ahead and fall back wisely. She does not end up being attacked by the Rengar. The Kha'Zix is going up here. Oh, this is where I died. Wow, I went really far back. So there we go. The Xerath does take down the Orianna, but Kog'Maw is able to take down the Xerath. Wow, I did not realize I went that far back. That's actually what I saw. And I went way back. Apparently I just misclicked like crazy. In goes the OddOne. Alright, down here, Rengar and Blitzcrank are kind of roaming as a team. Blitzcrank has the Oracle, so he is clearing wards when he sees them. Which is very few, because there aren't very many purple wards. There's one here and one over here. Honestly, I don't blame the Nami whatsoever, because it's kind of hard to ward when you have to worry about dying all the time. Rengar, Nunu, Blitzcrank, and Kennen all work together to go ahead and take down that dragon. Kog'Maw is up here farming. He's going to get a lot of farm out of this wave. This is a huge wave. It's always very nice. And now the blue team, it looks like, is going to go ahead and push mid. Rengar takes down the Kha'Zix yet again. Go ahead and see that. Alright. So there we go. Kha'Zix is out here just farming while Kog'Maw was farming up top. Rengar goes and uses ult, and he comes in, takes half the Kha'Zix health, and yeah, the bush is what ends up killing him. Tried to flash out, but he did not end up doing it soon enough. So he ends up going down. Nami just landed her Q on that Blitzcrank, but it didn't really help any. And now the Blitzcrank is going to go ahead and take down this ward from the Nami. She just uses Blitzcrank to heal herself. Alright. So the Orianna actually has really good wave clear. Oh, there is the Nami ult, and I don't believe it hit anyone whatsoever. Nami goes down to batjewman. The OddOne is bouncing around, just bouncing people up. He does end up having to run from that, though. And now he's trying to get out. He's going to escape with no problem, would be my guess. He is going to go ahead and jump over this wall, get slowed by the Nunu, but it doesn't matter because he's all the way in his base. So he is going to escape. The only one who does not escape from that, it would be the Nami. And things are really looking bad for this purple team. Ooh, the Kha'Zix comes in. He does end up taking down the Xerath with the help of Kha'Zix, or Kog'Maw. Wow, Ka. So many Ka names. Ooh, Blitzcrank is going to go ahead and land a pull on Orianna. She is way out of position now. She's probably going to die. Actually, OddOne's coming in. She does end up taking down the Blitzcrank there. Now they're going in. Going to try to take down that Kennen. Kennen is going to go down to the OddOne. So now it is Nunu versus Zach. And Zach just says, nope, I'm out. Ooh, Kog'Maw just killed the Rengar. Let's go ahead and see that. Okay, so that's where that guy dies, to the Kog'Maw. We know that the Rengar is coming up mid. We see all the stuff that we already saw. There's the pull there on Orianna soon. And I want to see what happens to Rengar. Looks like he was actually going to go ahead and take down the Orianna, but that doesn't end up happening. He does jump over, take down the Kha'Zix, which I did not see. And wow, this guy's really low. WildTurtl is insanely low, but he is able to go ahead and slow the Rengar there and take him down. That's really impressive considering the fact that Rengar was so high up. And now the OddOne's trying to chase down this Nunu again. And again, Nunu has his little buff there that speeds him up. And OddOne's doing as much as he can to go ahead and slow him down. In comes the Nami. There is the bounce out from the OddOne. And Nunu is not looking nearly as good this time as he did last time. The kill does end up going to Nami. And that was nearly an ace by the purple team. Very close. I think these guys had respawned just before it happened, though, so no ace for you. But now the purple team's just going to go ahead and refarm up. They probably need to put a ward here fairly soon, just because of the fact that, you know, Baron, this is about the time that people start doing Baron, especially with the pros. So the blue team will know if they don't have wards. Actually, they don't have any oracles here. So he is going to go ahead and pink it, though. So he does know that the purple team has no wards here. He's also warding up the jungle. Nami has her Sightstone and a pink ward as well. So she'll probably go over there to pink ward fairly soonish, and if she does, she'll be able to take down that. There's the pings on Rengar, probably just saying, watch out, that guy's dangerous. And he is, he really is. But Nami's going to go ahead and go in on him. She does try to go ahead and land her stun. It does not end up happening, but Kha'Zix jumps in. There is the Nami ulti. It does not end up hitting anybody again. Rengar is actually low there. He's getting really close. He does end up going down to the Kha'Zix. The batjewman is going to go ahead and take down the Kha'Zix, where Zach is going to go ahead and go in on him. The WildTurtl, yes, WildTurtl is going to go ahead and take him down as well, except he doesn't. I thought he was. Now the OddOne's trying to get out. He did get stunned there by the Xerath, and now his passive popped and did not end up saving him, as it often does not, annoyingly enough. I very rarely have times where it saves it, although when it does, it's really amusing, and it always just completely enrages the enemy team. So, those instances make it all worth it, you know? They really do. So, the blue team's going to go ahead and continue pushing. As of right now, it is only WildTurtl versus the world, and the world includes 4 members of the blue team, so he's not going to be able to save that at all. Batjewman's going to go ahead and fall back while the rest of his team goes in on the inhibitor. And now WildTurtl is actually still so he's got to watch out. The Blitzcrank did just get slowed by that Kha'Zix jump Void Spike thing, but he does not end up going down. WildTurtl's really low. The Kha'Zix just got pulled, but he's going to escape out of that anyway. In comes the OddOne. Is he going to go ahead and land on anybody? He does not land on anybody. No, he does land the slow on Nunu, but it does not end up killing anything. In comes the Kha'Zix. Does land the hit on the Blitzcrank, but the Blitzcrank does not get too bad. Kha'Zix got pulled again. He actually does have his ulti. Did go ahead and use it. He tried to do that. He did land the Void Spikes on the Kennen again. And he got stunned for his efforts. And now the purple team's on the run again. The Void Spikes does go ahead and slow them down from the Kha'Zix. Rengar comes in. There is the Orianna ulti, but it was too late to save Kha'Zix. Rengar takes him down. Now the OddOne's going to go ahead and fall down. Probably the Orianna just got pulled. There is the Kennen ulti, not doing a ton of damage because it is AD Kennen. But the Xerath was able to take down the Orianna right after the Orianna took down the Kennen. Now the Xerath takes down that Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw tried to take down pretty much anybody, but did not end up doing it. Now the Blitzcrank tried to land his pull on Nami, did not end up landing it, and there is the attempted stun from Xerath. No go though. Did land a hit on... Oh, he was pointing the wrong way. Landed a hit on the auto. Oh, that time he got it. He did get stunned by her though, onto the tower, so he does end up going down to Zac. Terrible time to go ahead and use your abilities to stun somebody. I think he even rooted himself, which means 100% you're going to get grabbed. But alright, Rengar's going to go ahead and take this red over here. Can't say I blame him. But Kha'Zix, well, picked up by that ward, so he knows that Kha'Zix and the OddOne are both around here. He is going to go ahead and get out of that just before the OddOne comes in. And the OddOne knows he's there now. He does not end up clearing it though, oddly. He is chasing down that Rengar, trying to. Now he's going to go ahead and clear it. And he's just sad face. No red for you. Nunu is mid versus nobody now. Nami and Kha'Zix were there, but now they're not. The pings did just come out from the purple team on the dragon. So we'll see if they decide to go ahead and go in on that down there. Alright, Kennen is just farming down here. If we look at the CS, he is still, actually he's way ahead still. He's about almost 60 CS ahead. I would say he's 52 CS ahead, which is not too bad at all. That is quite a bit of money there. And he's doing a whole lot better kill-death assist ratio. So he's got a lot more money. He's actually probably getting fairly close to fully built. Whereas WildTurtl is not quite able to do that. There is the attempted stun there from Xerath. Does not end up doing it. There is his ulti. The Nunu ulti comes in. The Kha'Zix jumps in. Does go ahead and take down that Xerath. The Zac actually ends up getting the kill. And going in, the Rengar takes down the Kog'Maw. Now the OddOne's going in. Going to go ahead and take down the Rengar. The Kha'Zix gets the kill there. The rest of the purple team, or the blue team, is pushing. Trying to take down Nami from the looks of it. But now it's actually a 4 versus 3 in the purple team's favor. The OddOne jumps in. Does land a slow on from Maple Street. There he goes. He does not end up killing anybody though. He tried to jump in and pop them up, but it did not end up happening. It's kind of a hard one to land at times if they're actually paying attention. But luckily that's fairly uncommon. And there is the ping from the purple team on Baron. So it looks like they might actually want to go ahead and get that. They've got 10 seconds before Xerath is up and 20 seconds before Rengar is up. And it does not look like they're going to go ahead and do it. However, the blue team is taking this blue down here. Just counter jungling. There was another ping on the Baron, by the way. And yet another. So it definitely looks like the purple team wants to go ahead and go get that Baron. It's starting to get to the stage where they might actually be able to win team fights. I don't know. Probably not really. They can't really run straight up team fights, but so far the purple team, or the blue team, has somewhat thrown these battles. So, okay, they were just warding. They were saying, hey, get the ward. And Blitzcrank is coming in with a Oracles, so he is going to go ahead and clear that. OddOne is just waiting out here. The purple team blue team is going in on this a little bit, but not much because the rest of the team did not follow up whatsoever. So those guys actually just took a little bit of free damage there. They are going to get picked up by that ward. And now the Xerath is going in, going to go ahead and try to take down the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix does escape. Nami is going to run this way. She almost got pulled by the Blitzcrank, did not end up getting pulled by the Blitzcrank. She does use her ult there, and the Orianna throws her ability out there. Nami just barely dodged a stun there, and she doesn't getting stunned. She's going to go down now. She does indeed end up going down. Alright, Orianna did escape that though, and she actually tried at least somewhat to help the Nami, but did not end up being able to help her whatsoever. Now the Zac is pushing this back. They have 2 wards in here. So if the blue team does decide to go ahead and try the Baron, they're going to have a little bit of trouble. They did just land a pull on Zac, but Zac is the tank, and that doesn't really matter. Zac is incredibly tanky, and it is awesome being able to just walk away from things. Ooh, down goes the Kha'Zix to the Xerath. Xerath does a lot of damage, and he's yet another one of those that people decided were weak, so they just don't play him anymore. Ooh, the OddOne did go ahead and use his ulti there. He's doing a lot of damage. Down goes the Kennen to the Kog'Maw. And now the OddOne is going to go ahead and jump at batjewman. He does go ahead and land a slow, but the stun comes out from the Xerath and stuns poor the OddOne. Now the Blitzcrank actually landed a pull there. He does end up going down to the Kog'Maw just before the Kog'Maw dies. Rengar's coming in to try to take down the OddOne. Does not end up doing it. He's a little bit too big there. The Orianna came in to do some damage as well. She almost got hit by the Xerath ability there, but she did end up dodging it. Now, blue team is going in on these inhibitors, but the purple team's coming back up fully healed, and they've got to watch out. The Nami did land her stun there. The OddOne jumped in. I do not believe he has his ulti. He does not. So he's going to have to fall back. He does end up going down. His passive is popped, though, so if his team can defend him, it'll be okay. The Kha'Zix jumped in, tried to take down the Xerath. Xerath did not go down. Kha'Zix went down to Rengar, though, and Nunu was able to finish up the Zac. So down with the Zac as well. And Nami and Orianna were just keeping these minions back, so they did not assist. Well, they tried to assist at the beginning, but they did end up falling back. And unfortunately for him, he did end up going down. The Nami ulti did end up landing on the Xerath there, but there was no follow-up whatsoever, so Xerath is fine, and he's going to escape with no problem. In comes WildTurtl to push this lane back while getting some more farm. He's actually over 60 behind now. Frommaplestreet is just doing really well on the farm. There is the ping from the purple team saying, I'm on my way to Baron. They probably are figuring that the blue team is going to do that very soon. These wards are just about to go down, so they need to replant these very soon. Otherwise, they are going to not know what's going on. Nunu is clearing them out now, and he does not end up getting to kill either one of those wards. And now they're just warding up around here, getting ready to bait this. I believe Zac's ult is back up. It is indeed back up, so this could be a full-fledged team fight here. He's going to go ahead and just ward up as well. Rengar's going in, going to go ahead and just rip that Kog'Maw to shreds. Rengar's really good about that. Now he's going in on Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix uses his ulti as well to go ahead and try to get out of this. He does flash as well. And now the Orianna came in and just tore through that Rengar. And now the Nunu has to worry about it. He did end up getting pulled by, or not pulled, but stunned by the Nami. The Orianna took down the Nunu, whereas the Xerath was able to take down the Orianna. And now the OddOne's trying to get out of this. Blitzcrank is there, going to go ahead and pop him up. There is the OddOne's ulti, and he does get pulled by the Blitzcrank. So down goes the OddOne to his brother. And now it is 3 members of the blue team against 1 member of the purple team. I have a feeling this is GG. There is the pull attempt on Kha'Zix. Did not end up landing, and down goes Kha'Zix again. So that is indeed the end of this game. And boom. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the items here. Does it warp all the way over here? No, it just warps to here. I always like that effect, just the whole warping thing. Alright, now, as I was saying, let's take a look at the items. Baron was invincible this round. Kha'Zix has 153 CS versus 184 for Rengar. Kha'Zix is 5-14-6 versus 13-9-6. Kha'Zix has Black Cleaver, Last Whisper, Meromeron, Longsword, and Boots of Speed versus Blade of the Rune King, Black Cleaver, Last Whisper, Boots of Mobility, the Home Guard Enchant, Brutalizer, and his Bone Tooth Necklace, which, by the way, does not end up giving the quest in Ranked. That's normals only. Orianna is at 248 CS versus 259 for Xerath. She's only a little bit behind there. She is 679 versus 1647, a lot of it behind there. She has Rabadon's Death Cap, Seraph's Embrace, good shield, Void Staff, Sorcerer's Shoes with the Home Guard Enchant, Chalice of Harmony, and Fiendish Codex. Looks like she's going for the upgrade of the Chalice there. The Xerath has Rabadon's Death Cap, Rylai's Leandri's Torment, Athene's Unholy Grail, that's what I was talking about, the upgrade to the Chalice, Athene's Unholy Grail. Sorcerer's Shoes with the Alacrity Enchant, and Fiendish Codex. The Kha'Zix, or Kog'Maw, has 256 CS versus Kennen with 317. He is 8-12-6 versus 13-3-8. Big difference there. The Kog'Maw has Infinity Edge, Blade of the Ruined King, Phantom Dancer, Berserker's Grease of the Home Guard Hand, and Doran's Blade versus Infinity Edge, Blade of the Ruined King, Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper, BF Sword, and Berserker's Greaves. No enchant. Nami is at 27 CS versus 17 for Blitzcrank. That doesn't matter. Their support. She's 1-6-10 versus 1-4-12. They're actually fairly close there. Lock of the Iron Stellari, Mercury Stones of the Home Guard Enchant, Ruby Side Stone, Cage's Lucky Pick, Philosopher's Stone, Vision Ward versus Lock of the Iron Stellari, Ruby Side Stone, Glacial Shroud, Mercury's Treads, and Philosopher's Stone. It looks like he was probably going for Frozen Heart. Be my guess with that Glacial Shroud. Zach is at 124 CS versus 92 for Nunu, so he's actually ahead there. He's 4-6-11 versus 2-4-17, behind in assists there by quite a bit. I think that's more than enough to make up for it gold-wise, especially with the towers. He has an Aegis of the Legion, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Lock of the Iron Stellari, Ninja Tabby of the Home Guard Enchant, Null Magic Mantle, and Vision Ward versus Aegis of the Legion, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Lock of the Iron Stellari, Sheen, and a Boots of Mobility. So that is the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I shall see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.